Hello, my name is Maggie Braun. I have a background in ecosystem management, and this is an online deputation to all Canadian municipalities on the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, ICLEI, the International Council on Local Environmental Initiatives, Partners for Climate Protection Program, its origin and aim, supporting rationale, other considerations, benefits and disadvantages, and further recommendations. 2 years after Canada signed on to Agenda 21, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities created the Partners for Climate Protection Program and sent a municipal primer to all Canadian municipalities, promoting sustainable development through local strategic action. Sustainable development is a term coined in the Brundtland Commission, stating that land cannot be treated as an ordinary asset controlled by individuals, and public control of land use is indispensable. On page 9 of the municipal primer is a flowchart of how Agenda 21 would be implemented through Canadian municipalities. This is a blueprint for achieving sustainable development. Notice the means of implementation: promoting education, public awareness and training, and information for decision-making. The Partners for Climate Protection Program is a means of implementation, providing information for decision-making based on Agenda 21 or UN directives. The PCP program offers tools, networking venues and events, case studies and other informational resources, and access to the PCP Secretariat, who offers coaching and technical assistance. The supporting rationale for the program is that it is well established that climate change is increasing the frequency of extreme weather events and posing a serious threat to our natural environment, our health, our jobs, and our economy. Also, that Canada is committed to limiting the global temperature increase to below 2 degrees Celsius, according to the Paris Agreement. The municipal primer states that human activities have resulted in changes in the global climate and are expected to do so in the future, and that a lack of scientific certainty shall not be used as a reason for postponing sustainable development. Let's jump ahead 30 years and consider the World Climate Declaration, signed by almost 1,900 scientists, stating that there is no climate emergency. Climate science should be less political, while climate policies should be more scientific. Scientists should openly address uncertainties and exaggerations in their predictions of global warming, while politicians should dispassionately count the real cost as well as the imagined benefits of their policy measures. The following slides are a combination of direct quotes from the World Climate Declaration and peer-reviewed studies with references. Only 0.3% of published scientists stated in their papers that recent warming was mostly man-made. Natural factors as well as anthropogenic factors cause climate change. The Earth's orbit and tilt drive glacial and interglacial changes. The Geological Archive reveals that the Earth's climate has varied as long as the planet has existed. The Little Ice Age ended as recently as 1850. Therefore, it is no surprise that we are experiencing a period of warming. This research alone would suggest that human activities have little impact on the global climate compared to natural factors, and it is not possible to limit the global temperature increase to below 2 degrees Celsius. The world has warmed significantly less than predicted by the IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the main source of research for the Partners of Climate Protection Program. The gap between the real world and the modeled world tells us that we are far from understanding climate change. The IPCC models exaggerate the effect of greenhouse gases and ignore the benefits of additional CO2 in the atmosphere. CO2 is not a pollutant. It is the basis of all life on Earth. CO2 is not the primary greenhouse gas. Water vapor is. CO2 only makes up 0.04% of the Earth's atmosphere. And the warming effect of CO2 declines as its concentration increases. CO2 is plant food. Additional CO2 in the air promotes growth in the global plant biomass. More CO2 is favorable for the natural greening of our planet. More CO2 means moister soil. It is profitable for agriculture, increasing the yields of crops worldwide. Global warming has not increased natural disasters. There is no statistical evidence that global warming is intensifying natural disasters or making them more frequent. Most of Antarctica is cooling and gaining ice. Extreme heat events are declining. Forest fires across the Northern Hemisphere are also declining. There is a long-term decline in hurricanes in the United States. Extreme tornadoes are decreasing. Droughts are declining worldwide. There are more polar bears today than 50 years ago. And the last interglacial period, 12,000 years ago, was 8 degrees warmer than today, and the polar bears survived. Warmer weather means fewer temperature-related deaths, and that is because the cold kills far more people than the heat every year. Again, there is no statistical evidence that climate change is increasing the frequency of extreme weather events or posing a serious threat, and a lack of scientific certainty should be used as a reason for postponing so-called sustainable development. There is ample evidence that CO2 mitigation measures are as damaging as they are costly. Climate policy must respect scientific and economic realities. There is no climate emergency. Therefore, there is no cause for panic or alarm. We strongly oppose the harmful and unrealistic net zero CO2 policy proposed for 2050. Go for adaptation instead of mitigation. Adaptation works, whatever the causes are. So we've already covered the benefits of the program, and of course, it's free, so what's the catch? Municipal plans based on the PCP program emphasize UN directives, so-called sustainable development, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and gender diversity and inclusion, which they are incorporating into the municipal climate action plans. This will cost council, committee, and staff time and wages reviewing the climate change reports. This will also commit public funds to private sustainable development goals. Official plans based on sustainable development restrict private property rights and severances, limit mobility, drive future population growth to selected settlement areas, reduces tax revenue for smaller municipalities. Reduced revenue means reduced services, and we've seen the results of this with our towns being downgraded to villages, our villages to hamlets, our hamlets to ghost towns, and rural homes left abandoned and the land unoccupied. This is the result of 30 years of so-called sustainable development. This program will also limit decision-making options within council to fall within UN directives. Councillors who oppose UN directives will face consequences. Adoption of CPC compliant plans will bind the council to UN directives. This program will also limit public consultation. Public consultation will be limited to UN directives. Public surveys will be limited to UN directive options. Public deputations will be denied if opposed to UN directives. See this deputation letter that was showing that a deputation is denied because the City of Aurelia considers its decision-making under the broad umbrella of the United Nations directives, because Prime Minister Trudeau is aiming to achieve Agenda 2030. Thankfully, the PCP program is voluntary, and your municipality can opt out and leave the program at any time. This program is not mandatory for your municipality. I would like to remind the council that it is the governing body of the municipality and the custodians of its power, and that these programs are adopted by bylaw or resolution. Those in public service have a duty to protect the rights of the members of the public from foreign agendas that are not beneficial to their municipality. or jurisdiction. Recommendations to councils. That councils be directed to review the municipal primer of 1994 before adopting this program so they have a good understanding of what they are signing up for. That council be directed to review the World Climate Declaration of 2023 so they are up to date on current climate science. That council support a motion to reconsider or to rescind any motions to adopt the PCP program and put forward that motion as it was accepted so that it can be rescinded. We recommend these motions be rescinded. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions. And for further support, see the Gather 2030 Substack or email gather2030@protonmail.com. Thank you for your consideration, and I hope to hear from you in the future and look forward to working with you across Canada.